So Stephen A. Smith apologized to Jasmine Crockett. As you guys may know, Stephen A. Smith came out. He made certain comments about Jasmine Crockett. Nothing egregious, just questioning her way about how she's going about politics, going on all these different platforms, and just slamming the president. And of course, she was met with a lot of backlash. A lot of the intellectuals, the black bourgeoisie, came down hard on Stephen A. Smith. And now he's apologizing. And Stephen A. Smith, who I respect dearly, but a lot of people have been talking about how he's talking on both sides of his neck. And I don't necessarily view it as that. I view it more so as he's trying to be somebody who sees things from both sides, as I do myself. I like to look at things from different perspectives and different points of views, and I'm not just somebody who's just going to be on the side and only look at things from one side. So I respect him for that. But sometimes, and why I always tell black people that I don't believe that Stephen A. Smith is ever somebody who's coming after or at the black community, because he's always panders to the black community. He always bows down to the black community, when I know truly, when you hear the things that he speaks about, that's not really what he believes. He's just really scared of the woke mob. He's not trying to actually come at black people. But listen to him talk about and apologize to Jasmine Crockett. Take a look.
Now, I wanted to take a moment because I saw something disturbing in regards to President Donald Trump and how he came at Representative Jasmine Crockett. And I wanted to take this opportunity to attack this issue as it pertained to me and Jasmine Crockett, because I personally have had an issue with how things have been misconstrued and misinterpreted. But at the end of the day, I have to own it. And that's what I'm going to do today. And so when somebody says to me, Stephen, rather than point to her and her verbiage and her language and how she talked about the president, what about how he talks? I have no problem with that. I can understand that. And if that is the reason that everybody is in an uproar, that is fine. And I have no problem apologizing to my sister, because damn it, I want her to know I don't feel that way about her. Just like I didn't feel that way about Kamala Harris. Just like I don't feel that way about the marvelous, the wonderful, the incomparable, the greatest first lady ever, and Michelle Obama, in my estimation, or anybody else. But what we're going to do on this show is understand who the hell I am.
Well, first off, Stephen A. Smith, the problem with this is you already do talk about Donald J. Trump. Stephen A. Smith talks about the positive things that Donald Trump does, but he also talks about how he doesn't like Donald Trump's behavior. So him pointing out what Jasmine Crockett may be doing wrong isn't him just not paying attention to what Trump has done. Yeah, Trump has said negative things about Jasmine Crockett, but I think Jasmine Crockett has invited those things. Trump didn't become the president. He wasn't in his campaign talking about Jasmine Crockett. He's only talking about Jasmine Crockett because Jasmine Crockett is talking about him. So again, you're just bending the knee, Stephen A. You're cowering out because the black people is putting pressure on you, and then you're just scared of them. It's that simple.
And how it's going to be as long as I'm doing this show. I have no problem apologizing if I'm wrong. I have no problem apologizing if I've made somebody feel a certain kind of way. But I'm going to challenge the legitimacy of what people come at me with when I think that challenge is warranted and deserved. If you came to me and you said to me that it came across as a bit dismissive, Stephen, you should have been more protective of her than that, because look at how he speaks. Look at how they act on Capitol Hill towards her. I understand that. But when somebody tries to take that to accuse me of being disrespectful or in any way misogynistic, I'm going to push back on that, because that's emphatically false. There's no truth to that whatsoever, and I'm not accepting that, and I'm not owning that. I can sit up there and I can look at Representative Jasmine Crockett. Do you know what I think she should be doing? I think she should be competing for the Senate seat in Texas.
Yep, they got to him. They got to him. Because all this may be true. He may have believed this prior. But again, this is gaslighting. What does she need to be protected from? She gets on and she goes into Capitol Hill and she acts in a particular way, and they respond in the way that she's acting. They're not just treating her badly because she's a black woman. They're not just treating her badly because they just want to. No, but she's acting in that way and they're responding in that way. It's not just, oh, we're just going to just pick on this black woman and she needs to be protected because she's standing. That's not what's happening. This is a gaslight situation where they're telling Stephen A. Smith that she needs to be protected. So she gets to act however she wants to act, but then she must be protected. Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Or for the attorney general spot, because she's qualified.
Oh, now we hear the qualified word.
I personally think Kamala Harris should have ran for governor of California.
Oh, no.
I've said it for the record that if Michelle Obama was running for president, she would have beat Trump. in my opinion.
I agree.
I think she'd have done it. That's how I feel. But somehow, some way, it's never enough for some people out there. I understand. I would advise you to get over it or buckle up because I'm not going away. This is my show. I will say what I feel and I will do what I want. It doesn't mean I'm going to be insensitive. It doesn't mean that I don't care about our community. A matter of fact, most of the trouble I get in is because I care about our community. And the reason I'm bringing this up and the reason that I'm willing to attack this subject, because this really ain't about Jasmine Crockett. I respect her. I wish her nothing but the best. I was simply asking a question. That's all. What's working for you? Because I don't want her to lose the prowess that she has. I want it to continue to gain and elevate. We need resistance to what we see going on in the streets of America. I asked a question. I get it now with Trump feeding into that nonsense, giving him fodder or ammunition to continue to go out there and talk about our black women that way. I got it. I don't like that at all.
But again, you just said it yourself. You just asked a question. So what are you apologizing for? Because again, this is how these black bourgeoisie people gaslight you, okay? They said all you're doing, you're talking white supremacy talking points. You're just giving them power to be able to say these things. They're going to say these things already. So what are you apologizing for? You're only apologizing to get the black people back on your side. But I'm trying to tell you, Stephen A. Smith, they not going to like you either or. They already have their opinions about you, brother. You must stand on whatever side that you're going to stand on your 10 toes and keep going strong. You know, and the real people know that the things that you said about Jasmine Crockett is truly to help the people in the black community. It's truly to push us forward. You always give the light. You always give the advice to the black community, what's best and how we should move forward in terms of business, how we can make deals, how we can actually work with people. A lot of these people on this side, all they want to do is tear everything down. And that's what Jasmine Crockett is doing. All she's trying to do is impinimate and go everything against Donald Trump at every stage, every way of the process. And that's okay. That's her right to do so. But they're not trying to work with Donald Trump. They're not trying to find a win-win situation. They're not trying to make a deal. And in the world of business, the world of politics, and the world that we live in, it's not about trying to take shit down. No, you have to find a way to work with people. And that's the problem that the black community has at times. Everybody is trying to be an antagonist to everything that the white community, white politicians, or what they may think white supremacy is. All you're trying to do is just tear it down. Instead of trying to find a way where you can win and they can win. If you try to tear their shit down, they're just going to fight back. And when they fight back, y'all call it racism. They not about to just give y'all all they shit. I don't know why we believe that. So you have to figure out where you going to stand, Stephen A. That's why people keep saying that you're talking on both sides of your neck. Now, I understand you. I get what you mean when you talk, because I'm very independent. I ain't on none of these sides. I just see what's really going on the Democratic side, and they bully, and they pressure, and they manipulate, they gaslight. I see it. It's clear as day. The Republicans, they don't give a fuck either, but they just stand on where they stand on, and they just stand over there. They're not against black people, but they're not going to cower and just bend down to black people either, though. See, the Democratic Party, they act as if they're for black people, but they're not here for black people at all either. They just act like they are. And that's what I don't like. But you're getting bullied right now, Stephen A., by the black community, making it seem as if it is dangerous for what you said about Jasmine Crockett when you just made an observation. They could have disagreed with your opinion, but they didn't have to punk you into apologizing, making it seem as if you was dangerous and what you're saying was giving the other side ammo to go against her more. No, it doesn't at all. Because the way that she's going, I don't think is the right way. It's not the right way. We have doctors, lawyers, we have very intelligent people within the black community that can speak and they can walk. But whenever it's somebody intelligent, a Byron Donalds, a Tim Scott, a Clarence Thomas, a Thomas Sowell, the black community never accepts them because they say that they are too tolerant of white supremacy. They're not ghetto enough. They're not black enough. We need those people in society too. We need those people in our political sphere as well. Jasmine Crockett is acting like she's not a part of that. She's acting like a lady of the streets of black America. And maybe we need a couple of those, but we need some of the other ones as well. And so you speaking to that is very important. It's a constructive criticism. It's not to tear her down. Who cares what the white people think about what you say about the black community? Stand on who we actually are. And we're not just ghetto women. We're not that.
I don't want to be associated with nothing like that. And I apologize because I respect the hell out of Jasmine Crockett and what she has accomplished. I absolutely do. And I appreciate the fact that she feels compelled to fight the way that she's fought, the way that she fights because of what she's dealing with. I've been a journalist for over 30 years. I don't want enemies. I truly don't.
We know.
But I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to call it like I see it.
And you did. Why are you apologizing?
Should be done respectfully. It should be done with the sensitivity that it needs to be done with. I get it. I understand. But I'm going to be me.
And why
I'm going
apologize?
to call it like I see it. I can look Jasmine Crockett in the face and say, I'm sorry for any kind of noise I caused in your direction. Because she is accomplished and she is smart and she does have an incredible, incredible challenge working in this political climate on Capitol Hill. I got it. And when Trump came at her like that, I said, damn it. I was pissed off because I said, that's what they're talking about. When they're saying, you know what, when you question something about her, it's going to invite that. I understand. But we also need to be able to ask her questions.
Which you did.
Just like we would ask Kamala Harris questions. Just like we would ask AOC questions. Just like we would ask Gavin Newsom questions. Just like we would ask Chuck Schumer questions or anybody else. That comes with it. It comes with it. The times that we live in, the times that we live in, the times we live in. Yep, absolutely true. Which is why I was screaming to get our focus away from the cancer culture and the identity politics and the kind of things that would turn off 77 million voters, which pretty much comes down to about 20 swings, 20 swing districts, if you really, really want to think about it with these elections. But that's a different story for another day. The point is, times are tight. And the slightest little thing can turn people off. And in the end, as trifling as President Trump can be, the fact of the matter is, millions upon millions of people felt that he was closer to normal than the Democratic Party. What you gonna do about that? I have a right to ask that.
You do.
Just like anybody else.
And stop apologizing. All right, I'm a land there. See, Stephen A. Smith, obviously he got bullied by the woke mob. And that's what's happening here. You're capitulating to the woke mob right now, Stephen A. Smith. They don't like you either or. They just want you to apologize because they wanted to have their way and it's only their way. You did what you did. You asked questions because, again, in the society, you just said 77 millions looked at Donald Trump and said it was perfect. You can criticize Donald Trump in the way that he talks to Jasmine Crockett, but you can also criticize Jasmine Crockett because you're bringing a light to cancel culture and how this Democratic Party and the way that they're speaking, the way they're doing things is pushing people away. That is helping the black community. Stop being bullied by these black elites and these black bougie ass people who think that they're better than the rest of the society. Stop being bullied by them. Stand on what you stand on because you are actually helping the black community. Okay. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. I can't believe that he apologized and he bent the knee to them. Stephen A. Smith, I'm glad that he's into politics. I've always loved Stephen A. Smith. Obviously, I don't agree with everything that he says. Obviously, I don't agree with this right now, but I think that he's a positive voice that we should have in our community. I think a lot of our black people and our black politicians need to lean and lead on Stephen A. Smith because he can be a very conduit to the world. No matter how many people may like or not like Stephen A. Smith, in the world of media, we must understand that 50% of the people are going to like what you say and they don't like what you say. People tune in to Stephen A. Smith, regardless if they like him or not, they're going to tune in and use him as a conduit instead of try to cancel him. Don't get punked by these people, Stephen A. Smith. Do not allow them to do it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Like always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what videos you guys want me to react to. But I am so disappointed in Stephen A. Smith. I love him. I respect him dearly. But you cannot allow the woke mob to control you. And that's what's happening on the Democratic side. They have a woke mob and they are forcing people into corners to make it seem as if Jasmine Crockett or whoever else is so in danger. No, you guys are inviting danger onto you guys. It's about everything y'all do in your political party. You guys do certain things that are egregious, just like the other side does egregious things, but then you guys play victim afterwards. Jasmine Crockett is not a victim. Jasmine Crockett is standing out there acting however she wants to act, saying whatever she wants to say, calling the president a white supremacist and all type of shit, and you don't expect him to respond? Of course he's going to respond. So Stephen A. saying any of this is not going to change how the president is going to talk about Jasmine Crockett while Crockett is talking about the president. I love y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, like all the good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. We out of here.